Hey, good morning everyone, Tractorman 44 here. You're going to see today what it is I've got in mind for protecting this thing in the winter time, and it's temporary, it's entirely temporary. It's going to be a little weird looking. I'm going to wrap it with some kind of a tin, I don't know. Now this one's a little bit unique because what I'm going to build is going to travel right along with it, you know, whenever it goes down the saw bed frame. It's going to have like a cupola or a tall center, and then the wings will have to spread out in order to deflect as much snow as what we can off of the extremities of the unit. It's going to be a little weird, you know, but the saving grace is the fact that, number one, I need to protect it, and number two, it is temporary because this is not the final location. This will give you more of an idea of that thing at full capacity. That's 36 inches above the saw bed frame, and then also you can see the amount above the frame that I've got to build the cupola style covering. Well guys, I told you it's going to be an odd looking thing. Now this is just a start, of course, and you never want to look at a job and make a decision until the job is complete. You know what I mean? I had an old uncle one time that told me that you never want to let a fool see a job half done, because the fool is the one that criticizes everything before you even get your intentions, you know, out of your mind and into the project. So I don't make any judgment until I get done with it, but it's going to be a little weird, but the whole goal is to protect the machine for a year or so. As you can see, that motor, it still goes up another 1.5 inches or better, and by the time we get to 10 on it, we're going to clear the top of that breather about 1.25 inches, 1.25 inches or so. Now we got to figure out how to put wings on either side of it. So hang in there, man. I'll bring you back in a little bit, you know. Thankfully, this is a pretty heavy built machine. I'm not concerned at all about walking around on top of it. Well, we got the uphill wing on and braced. Now I'm getting ready to put the downhill wing on and brace that one. That's going to be a little different than the other one. But the reason for that is simply because the water tank over there on the right hand side actually raises up. And I've also got it tilting down to the rear on all three parts of the roof, and then of course away from the machine. Not too bad at all, guys. I guess maybe we better make sure that nothing's going to hit anything, you know. Everything looks to be great, and it's back all the way up to its fullest height. So now I got a few more screws to put in there, then we're going to go for some sheet metal, guys. I got that little overhang on the left hand side, that's on, but I still got to do the trim work and everything. And I've got real heavy gauge material up on top. That's why I don't have to worry about any rafters or any cross pieces in there, because that's heavy guff gauge. That's like a 24 gauge as well, but I can actually walk on that right out in the middle. But I didn't want any rafters in there because I didn't want to take a chance of being something coming in contact with that muffler or that air intake. What this is a 24 gauge heavy commercial roofing. Just scraps off the job. You can see how sturdy this stuff is right here. And if you notice, I just have about a 2-inch fall on this side. That's what I wanted to do, just so I could roll right off the angle with it just like this, without having changed direction with the roofing material. So yeah, I'm going to be lacking a little, about 8 or 10 inches down here on the side. Well guys, at least got a little bit of tin on the doggone thing. It's getting a little bit late. It's getting a little bit dusk and everything, you know. Kind of got a little thunder in the background too. I don't know what that is. Might be a little rain coming in for tonight. I don't know. But I went ahead and put it all the way back up to the full top, and didn't really stick a measurement on it, but I got about 2.5 inches between the top of the air breather and the bottom of the sheet metal, or the bottom of the tin. So that's pretty good. Of course, I still got to do all the trimming and put the rest of the sheet metal on and everything, you know, to cover up as much as possible. So it'll be good. It's going to be good for snow anyway, and also good for rain, as long as it's just not ridiculously blowing in heavy gusts. Hey, we're going to finish this thing up tomorrow. Now you got to remember, this is all scrap material, so I'm just piecing together whatever I have in order to make everything work. I might not even cover this end right here. We'll see. Look right dead center of your screen, right between those two screws, and you're going to see where I peeled the plastic off. This still has, every bit of this metal still has all the factory protective coating on it. That's been laying in the woods now for probably been retired for 12 years, so 13 years. So that plastic has been on there for at least 15, 18 years or so. So all I got to do is peel all that plastic off, and all that metal will look brand new. But you know what? I ain't gonna do that. I didn't put all the screws in that last panel because I still have to put trim. I've got to slide a flashing underneath the bottom of that piece we just put up. So I've got to put the corners on, and I've also got to do fascia to cover the exposed wood. Well, guys, that's it. That's everything but the trim. I got all the parts and pieces that I'm going to put on, and I think everything's covered just the way it needs to be. So the last thing is a fascia and the trim. Too bad the shade and the angle of the sun is so bad. But yeah, this is the back side. Everything looks good. Everything is under roof, and that's the way I want to keep it. Like I said, you can see the exposed corners. We got to get all the corners, and then the fascia on all the exposed wood. Whenever I get everything all trimmed out, I get a better shot of it, you know, so you can see how it finishes up. Then we're going to get back to sawing some lumber, guys. This is TimberKing 44, and I'm out of here.